That was the bit I kept doing yesterday when Dooley and I went to Disneyland.
What?
Is
Damn,
that
do I really just like seen 3 movies in theaters there?
Yeah, that's too much.
the voice on the intercom would say, "Do not stand up during the ride," and I would turn to whoever's next to me and say, "I want to stand up." Or like halfway through the ride, I'd be like, "I want to stand up so bad."
I think I'm gonna stand up, bro.
I know they said not to, but I want to stand up so. And then because I was in the "It's a Small World" one where all the kids are singing "It's a small world after all" or whatever, and I was like, if I stood up, do you think the sniper would send me right back down into my seat?
It would be funny if you said that to like a 5-year-old kid next to you.
Yeah. I just got seated next to a kid for some reason.
They'd be like, "What's a sniper?"
The kid had an odd number amount of people in her family, and so I just get seated next to a kid, and I'm making like racist jokes the whole ride as we're driving. Do you know what "It's a Small World" is?
Isn't it? Is that the one where you go through the tunnel?
You go through the tunnel, and it's all the kids from all the different nations of the world, and they're like singing in harmony. And so I'm just leaning over to the kid like, "Oh, here comes the African section."
It's a bunch of liberal propaganda.
Yeah.
What's a liberal?
The world can't live in peace. That's stupid.
What's a liberal?
I'm like, thank God the liberals didn't get "It's a Small World" yet. They got Splash Mountain.
They did.
The liberals got smashed.
What the fuck is that even mean?
Dude, being wet is such a liberal thing when you think about
it. They're because Splash Mountain was branded after Song of the South, and so they're rebranding the whole thing.
Wait, like the name Splash Mountain is a Southern thing?
No, Splash Mountain was.
You don't know what Song of the South is?
Song of the South is like this really racist Disney movie that
I've heard
Disney has effectively scrubbed. Like you can't find a high quality version of it because they're just like
it's
committed.
about like a happy slave.
They're committed to making sure that like you don't think it exists.
Like one of those happy slaves.
Yeah, you know how some of the slaves were like cool with it.
Yeah, they're having a good time.
Sarcasm,
yeah,
but
sarcasm.
Thank
just
God the
in
podcast
case.
hasn't started yet.
It has.
Oh fuck, this is all bad so
We're
far.
fucked, dude.
This is all so bad.
We're canceled, dude.
But so they're rebranding it, which I think is actually a
we
good
have
thing.
Steve on today, by the way. We should introduce Steve.
This is New Drip Steve.
Hi, I'm Steve.
We all just saw Killers of the Flower Moon.
We did.
Very good.
Good.
Here's our spoiler-free review. Good movie.
Good movie.
Bad movie.
Really good.
Horrible movie.
No, it was good.
Martin Scorsese's lost his grip.
The movie was long but really good.
Asshole Martin Scorsese
Alex?
really says shit about Marvel, but he can't even make a movie that's interesting. Actually, kind of stupid when you think about it, what he's doing.
Yeah. Asshole Martin Scorsese screws the pooch. That'd be my headline.
Dipshit Martin Scorsese really can't even be the best guy of all time.
So true, dude.
I'm boycotting this bit because I think people come to us as a trusted source of legitimate movie opinions.
If you don't like Martin Scorsese because of the Marvel stuff, if you do not like Martin Scorsese because of the Marvel stuff, please stop watching our YouTube channel. I don't want anything to fucking do with you.
Did he shit on Marvel?
Yeah, he feels like it's kind of like the downfall of the industry.
I mean, I get where he's coming from.
The superhero things just in general. I mean, he's right. It's like the oversaturation of one type of movie.
Yeah.
Right. It's
destroying the chances for smaller or just different types of films from even playing or finding large audiences because they just don't get a chance.
And I would say it's more so the Disney company's fault as a whole, not just Marvel. I think we see it in a tangible form because there's so many Marvel movies, but really what it is that they're so risk averse that they just keep rehashing and
they did the same thing with Star Wars.
Exact same thing with Star Wars, exactly. And exact same thing with live action reboots of their own movies and sequels and whatever it may be, like
And Darth Vader.
Yeah. No, I thought, Killers. I did think
He used to be
weird.
voiced by a black man, and now he's voiced by AI.
So
That's actually true.
Also,
and it's hilarious.
what is?
He's like, his voice is not James Earl Jones. It's like
Darth Vader.
Yeah, it's AI now.
wow.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong about that, then I can suck my own penis and balls.
It would
but,
be.
you know.
It's funny. They were in a boardroom and they're like, "Who do we get to play the robotic evil that wants to take over the empire?" And then they were
Robot man.
"We'll typecast AI."
This is so perfect.
Yeah.
Well, also Luke Skywalker, he's like
AI.
he has like AI face and he has like an AI voice now
Yeah. The only thing that's still real
in The
is
Mandalorian.
his
Mark Hamill's dead, actually. I heard. The whole thing is
I
dead.
think the
Yeah.
first time that they brought him back with that weird AI thing, like it actually was Mark Hamill who did the voice. But yeah, he just doesn't do the voice anymore. If I'm wrong about this, once again, correct me, but I'm pretty sure this is all like horrible horse shit that's happening. in
I
the
mean,
world.
I think Martin Scorsese has a point. I feel like he undercut himself a little bit when Thanos came in at the end of Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, we said no spoilers.
Yeah,
I
he
feel
did
like-
kind of snap.
Yeah. Although it was,
he kind of
He
went.
kind of snapped off.
yeah. Although they, the cool thing they did with it is that Thanos comes in, but he's just like a chill guy.
He's Native
Right.
American.
He just kind of chills in the background. Him and Leo kiss at one point, but then
Yeah.
other than that, he's not really mentioned.
There's one scene where it doesn't make any sense that he just like kisses Leonardo DiCaprio and it's completely out
That's
of
it.
context.
It's
Yeah.
apropos of nothing. He comes in, they kiss. Leo looks a little
He
confused.
calls him Leo too. He's like, Leo, you look pretty good
Yeah.
right now. And he's like not in the
Right.
uniform.
Yeah.
He's not in his cowboy
Right.
outfit.
And then the rest of the movie, he just walks across in the background. You just see a big purple guy walk
Leo,
across
you
the
look really
screen.
nice right now.
Yeah. And then
Do you want to kiss?
at the very end, he goes, Thanos goes, "I'm the flower moon," and then it ends. It's cut
I'm
to
the
black.
flower moon.
Yeah.
Have you known that flowers can be moon?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I hate that fucking guy.
I feel
No, I'm
like
just kidding. I actually really like the actor. I liked
Brolin.
Josh Brolin a lot.
I think he
Yeah.
actually does an incredible job.
No,
I actually
No
think
Country
he's,
for
I,
Old Men.
I think he actually is pretty good at Thanos. And I'm not saying all this stuff because
In a country
I was
filled
into
with old men.
I was into the Marvel stuff for a while. I just feel like it's taken the places of other interesting films, and I don't like. I just feel like people don't look at movies the same way anymore because of how oversaturated the whole blockbuster
Yeah.
thing got.
It's made a slower, like understated movie seem boring to people when it's
Right.
not if you took it at face value and watched it
Well,
objectively.
just a different type of story. Like it's
Yeah.
completely valid.
And this is why Taylor Swift is going to save us.
The Eras tour.
She's going to save our industry.
Why is that?
There's no laser fights in the Eras tour video.
You don't know that. Have you seen it?
She's also an Academy Award nominated
For
director,
what?
right?
No, she didn't get that.
Oh, she didn't get nominated.
No, everyone said she was gonna, but she didn't get that.
Oh,
What did
that's
she-
so disappointing.
Anyway,
What
this
did
is.
she direct?
I have a news.
Now,
a
how
short
is
film. She
Travis
direct-
Kelce supposed to fuck her?
I know.
Oh, dude, we were doing a bit earlier. Why were we doing this? We were doing a bit.
This is a bad
We were doing a bit about how like Taylor Swift shoves. We're at the movies waiting for food, and we're reading pretzel bites.
Well,
and there
okay,
was-
so it started with we saw the Eras tour
right.
poster because your girlfriend, who I will not name in the podcast, I would never give her name out, even though we gave it out in the first podcast. She
Loves Taylor Swift.
loves Taylor Swift. She grabbed a few of these little free posters, and then she's like, I don't want to carry these around.
Right.
And so then I started singing about a guy that loves Taylor Swift merch, and then the bit turned into a guy who's shoving Taylor Swift merch up his ass to get through airport
Oh,
security
and
because he's
see,
not supposed to have it.
We were kind of doing parallel.
And you misunderstood what I was
songs.
kind of saying.
Yeah,
at
so
first.
my thing became Taylor Swift shoving pretzel bites specifically up her butt and becoming like a pretzel bite Pez dispenser kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
sorts,
Mm-hmm.
as she sang.
And
So
we
she-
sang for about 20 minutes.
It was
with
a
So
bit
this.
that
for the
she can,
moment.
so she can get through TSA.
Oh, Taylor Swift. Ass.
I'm so pissed off at you right now. We need to
Anyway,
talk. We need to
no,
talk
that
after
This
was
is
the
the
podcast.
section of the.
We need to
This is a
talk after
new
the podcast.
segment that we like to call.
Explaining the bit.
That we like to call hilarious reactions. So, guys, I compiled some hilarious stuff that we're gonna react to. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Here's the first one.
Is it just all pictures of horses?
I
It is.
searched.
I scrolled all of it. It's all horses.
I
I
searched
saw
for-
it. I saw it as he scrolled up, and they're all horses.
I searched for funny pictures for us to react to because I know that a lot
just give us a quick scroll.
A lot
through 'em,
of
because if they're all
podcasts-
horses, I'm not gonna.
No,
a lot of podcasts react to funny pictures and memes.
Okay, horse number 1, funny. Good job.
Okay,
Funny.
what's your comment?
5 out of 10.
that horse I feel like is mid dump, maybe.
That's funny.
He's like, oh, I dumped.
He's a horse.
Oh, I just
Also,
saw.
to clarify, I don't know how to put this image in the editing, so
Don't. It's funnier to
How do
for
you
us to
mean you don't know how
explain
to put it in the edit?
So
you know how to put it in
what
the
we're
edit.
gonna
He's
So it's
lying.
funnier to
He's just
explain it.
lazy.
there's just pictures of horses on the screen. That's all you need to know.
It's
So
funnier
this
to
is a
explain.
picture. What's your
Please,
reaction?
please just go through all the horses. They're all the same
No, no,
picture.
no,
What
let's
is-
give it its due.
What is your reaction to this?
Bad.
What
Good.
is your okay? we got a hung
Okay,
jury
and
over
I
here.
think it's bad because
The jury is hung like a horse, I would say, even.
You got me back.
nice one, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Can we move past the horses? Oh,
That's
my
actually a
God.
legitimately funny picture of a horse. That's the only one I think is actually really funny.
That's
I was
like a-
kidding on all the other ones, but that's pretty good.
It's like a Ring doorbell horse.
Yeah.
So in this one, the horse's nose is right up in the lens, so the horse
You know-
is like.
Okay, dude.
This
go
is
to
the
the next one. Go to
This
the
is
next
the
one.
horse that said, "You got games on your phone."
God.
This is the horse that heard you cooking. With,
This is
I
the
wanna
horse. This is the horse that reads Twitter off of his phone to his friends at a party because he finds it really funny, and then no one else understands why he's laughing.
This is the horse that tried to take a picture with his phone, but the front-facing camera was on, and he took a
give
picture
an
of
example.
himself.
He does this.
Guys.
He goes, I should have never shouted louder watching baseball. H-Town, everybody. And everyone looks at you at a party. He's like, what the fuck did you just say?
Hell yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, it was like on Twitter. And I thought it was funny. And then just no one cares. And it happens all the time. You want me to go closer to the mic?
I want you to get farther from the mic a little bit.
You want me to get closer to the mic?
You're peeking like crazy, my dog.
I'm not peeking.
You can't even check
You-
my
you
levels.
It's literally fun.
I wonder if this is bad.
Yeah, it's funny because you think that you have all the same interests as your friends, and then you like see like one of your tweets or one of their tweets that you like, and you're like, oh, we're completely different people.
Let's see if you can find a tweet.
But that's what makes
You
us
know,
beautiful.
you know, when your friend, yeah, they're like,
Look on my phone and see
"Oh,
if
this
you
hockey
see a
thing is
tweet that
funny."
you just hate. That you just can't stand looking at.
Okay, well that's our other roommate, so I like that one. Oh, there's my friend Noak Eric.
Shout out to Noak. We love Noak.
Walked to Speedway tonight. Group of middle schoolers on bicycles called me Freddy Fazbear.
Nice, Eric.
I love Eric.
Oh, this one I dislike.
What is it?
It's about this guy Kai Cenat. He's like another YouTuber guy, and it just seems like kind of
I'm
obnoxious.
turning off the air conditioner.
Yeah, turn off the fucking air conditioner.
off
This
right
is
now.
bullshit.
It's gonna be too loud.
And then on here is like a bunch of really racist accounts that Alex follows, saying
That's not true.
really horrendous things. No, these
Oh,
are
and here's-
really, really bad.
Okay, he
dude.
follows alt right
This is-
now.
This is bad.
That's not true.
This is Alex Jones for president.
Okay, and these are all just OnlyFans girls. So just scroll past that.
Bit over because none of that was true, and I don't want to be slandered.
Ha, bitch.
And I
Let's
just
see your phone.
Nah, I'm good.
Oh, you're too much of a pussy.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
My phone broke, so
yeah. I don't have a phone actually.
could I just say
Please watch this podcast 5,000 times so Steve can get a new phone. We can buy him a new iPhone 14.
Yeah, if all 12 people that watch this could.
iPhone 14
Watch
Pro
it
Max for
100 times.
Steve.
Could I just say two things? First of all, I feel
Mm.
very naked without a microphone in front of me. I feel like
Stop that.
unprotected in a way.
Why do you feel you have a microphone?
No,
right there.
and also I feel like this
It's
is
okay.
this is a new step in our friendships because our legs are slightly touching, and I don't know if this is like for me the most uncomfortable thing is when I'm sitting next to someone and my leg is slightly touching their leg.
Is that's awful for you?
I
Here, I'll give you room.
no.
Now we're good.
But our legs were touching, and I didn't mind. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
And I felt like that was a really nice.
I burped off mic. I would
It's an
never burp
intimate-
into the mic.
It's an intimate thing.
It's an intimate thing when your leg is slightly touching another man's leg. That's all I'm saying. And I feel like we're doing it, and we're handling it fine.
Steve's afraid to be gay.
If I didn't comment on it, we probably never would have thought about it.
Oh, I was thinking about it.
And
Here, let's pivot. Okay, I want to talk about. First of all, we talked briefly about the Chinese cat, but I do want to talk about Chinese cat with Steve since he was in that with us.
oh yeah,
That I think people have really enjoyed that video, and
Steve, tell us your process.
I'm kind of surprised on how well received it was because it was such a silly idea that we came up with very quickly.
so honestly, the process was us sitting around trying to figure out what to do, and then
We
Alex
had a few
was-
different ideas that we were already kind of like workshopping.
which some I still like actually.
yeah, we might still do like. I mean, we had like 2 of them that would probably work.
And then literally as we were like waiting, I think for Jim to like get out of the bathroom or something, Alex was scrolling on Instagram and just like was like, what if we just did this? And then it was just like a video of a cat singing Chinese, and
Specifically, my friend Sean sent me a meme,
yeah.
and I just saw it, and I was like, we should just do a video about this.
I'm a yes-ander. And so I said, yeah, not really thinking we would, because like what even would we do?
Well, the thing is, if Steve said no, we'd be like, this is our fucking channel.
That is
Right.
true.
So
If
how about you
Steve
be
said
a
no, the
little-
video just would have
a
not had Steve in
little
it.
respectful, buddy. Be a little respectful.
And so we did it, and I had a lot of fun, and it came out. I thought it came out great. I watched it probably 30 times. It's
Yeah,
very
it's,
watchable.
it's very cooked up. I like it.
It's an addictive video because of the way the cat goes. Meow.
What does anyone?
It goes.
There it is.
Okay.
Now let's talk about Horny for Burger.
Yeah. Now,
Horny for Burger is the most recent sketch channel
Horny for
hosted
Burger.
on Alan Jimby.
kind of like a weird format for it, which I really enjoy. Do you want to talk about how you wanted to do that one specifically? Well, okay, so we actually had a different idea before that one that we were going to do, and then,
Yeah.
and then like honestly, all of our best sketches, I feel like, come out of just
Spontaneous.
nowhere, and we do them very quickly. Like, so we were going to do a different sketch with our roommate Ryan, which we'll probably end up doing that sketch for next week.
If we have time.
And I was just in the kitchen, and Jim was cooking a burger while we were kind of like setting up, and then Jim ate the burger and kind of was like. And I was like, "Oh, dude, you're so horny for that burger," and then that was it.
And then I said, all right, sketch is going to be Horny for Burger.
And then I was like,
Well,
"Yeah, let's do it. Let's do
the
it."
funny thing, too, is
And I'm
we
like,
were-
"And I'm a tax guy," and that was all it was. And it formulated in 2 seconds.
we were waiting to film the other sketch because we wanted it to be dark out. And so we filmed this other
Right.
sketch in like an hour before it got dark out. And then we were like, okay, well, now we're tired.
Well,
So
yeah.
we're not going to film the other one. And then we also realized it didn't need to be dark for the other sketch.
No.
So we,
Yeah, not at all.
something that we really ended up doing kind of just to kill time when we didn't even need to ended up being, I mean, I just love Horny for Burger. I think it's great.
I think it's one of my favorite ones that I've watched with you guys, and you know I like your stuff.
Thank you.
That one I was really like strange in a way that really made me laugh, and had like it. What I loved about it is that it had like a narrative, but the narrative just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But it was like a coherent narrative. Like you were horny for burger, you were interrupting him, and then you were really contrite about how horny you were for the burger. And I thought it was
Yeah.
beautiful in a way.
Oh, it came from a real place.
Yeah, I was happy that we also kind of, I don't know, we did like a new format where it's just like very like monologue heavy, which is not something we've had monologues in our sketches before for sure, but nothing that long, like a almost 1.5 minute monologue to a 1 minute monologue, and that's just the end of the sketch. And then and then we have to talk about the so for the people that watch the sketch, it ends with us hugging, and the sound is insane sounding. It sounds completely fucked up. And so
Right.
when
It's
we
like muffled
first
and crazy.
cut it together, I was like oh, I kind of like so I edited it this week, and
It was very well edited.
and the way I edited it was like cut out the sound because I was like, oh, we can't use that. So it
Yeah.
was just soundless with just music. I'm like, oh, it's kind of quaint. And Jim was like, yeah, that's nice. And I'm like, oh, you got to hear how like fucked up it was because I just thought like we would both laugh about it and then we would move on. And then Jim was like, that's amazing. That sounds so fucked up. You had to put that's so funny. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then we put it back in and. You were right. Like it was just something I didn't really consider.
It made me
Sometimes-
laugh.
I've
Yeah.
never leaned into like bad technology being a bit of the
Yeah.
a sketch. It was a very funny
It's
kind of like happenstance, right?
You know what? I
It
think
was a gift.
partially why it worked is because like as a viewer, it's like in that moment you guys were so in it that like you didn't care, like the audio was out the window. It was like you were just two guys hugging like emotionally, and like whether the sound was good or not was totally beside the point. And it was like that made it like even more real of an emotional moment.
What really gets me about it, and I don't know if this is how you feel, Jim, but I love that I just for some reason sound like Mickey Mouse. I like at the end of it because the audio's so distorted. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It was very
Yeah.
good.
And it sounds like I'm literally doing Mickey Mouse. Oh boy, because the audio is so distorted, and it makes me laugh
Right,
every
does.
every time.
You know, I think that's a really interesting
It's just absurd.
facet of the way that you guys are doing some of these videos is like when you're doing it that way, like the horny for burger, the Chinese cat, when you're just doing whatever, like you're just happen to be doing something, you're like, okay, this is the sketch. when you like pre-plan a sketch and you have like a premise for it and a button and all that kind of stuff. It's like you have a pre-plan, oh, I want these beats to be hit and I want this to happen. And when you just are like, hey, we're doing something and now this is a bit, you have no, like the world is much more open to you because you have no preconceived notions at all. And I feel like that's an interesting way to do it too.
Well, one of my joys with the channel just in general is finding a very strange concept and then making a narrative out of it and like challenging ourselves to find the logic of it. I feel like that's something we kind of do well and something that might set us apart a little bit. But yeah, I love the challenge of finding like why this weird scenario makes any sort of sense.
Yeah. And with that brings us to the end of the public half of this podcast. Head on over to Patreon, where we'll be talking about Star Wars. We'll be talking about Michael Caine's retirement and
We're
more.
going to talk a lot about Yoda.
And I sharded myself. I'll tell that story.
Yeah, and
Lovely.
a great story about Shart. And
Bye, YouTube.
Thank you for watching.